for this opportunity to testify on the Disaster Recovery Reform Act of 2018 and the state of disaster readiness in local governments across the country. My name is Nick Crossley, and I am the Director of the Hamilton County Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency. I appear before you today as the immediate past president of the International Association of Emergency Managers, an industry group representing the profession dedicated to protecting America's local communities from all hazards and threats, both natural and man-made. Our country's resilience, the ability to survive and recover quickly from storms and disasters without the significant loss of life, the new and expanded authorities in the Disaster Recovery and Reform Act, once those authorities have been fully implemented, will be critical to supporting state and local efforts to promote resilience and disaster readiness. Emergency managers at every level are grateful to Congress for the transformational tools and authorities contained in the DRRA, which the President signed into law on October 5th of 2018. This law clearly demonstrates that Congress, you, are committed to resilience and changing the conversation to reduce disaster costs and losses across the country. The provisions within this law support those in state, local, and tribal governments, as well as FEMA, to build more resilient communities, lessen the impacts of disasters, and ultimately help individuals and communities recover quickly. This law focuses on pre- and post-disaster mitigation to reduce the cost of disasters. Key provision in this law enable greater investment in pre-disaster mitigation, support efforts to reduce risk from future disasters after fires, increase state and local capacity to manage disaster recovery, and provide greater support and flexibility to much work left to be done on the implementation of DARA. FEMA will need continued oversight and monitoring to ensure they meet their requirements, commitments, and the intent of Congress. As FEMA moves forward toward continuing to implement these provisions, it will be critical that they continue to engage and work with the entire community engaged in building resilience throughout the country, including other federal partners, state, you're giving me the opportunity to discuss the emergency management community's reaction to the enactment and initial implementation of DARA, as well as the country's readiness posture for the current disaster environment. Local emergency managers have and will continue to benefit from Congress's investments in mitigation and resilience. The capabilities created and the capacity built will ensure that not only our communities are ready to respond to the next disaster, but also withstand and recover quickly from the next disaster. While Congress has done much to incentivize resilience, much work remains to be done in order to make our communities safer and more disaster ready in 2019 and beyond. Thank you, Chairwoman Titus, Ranking Member Meadows, and all members of the subcommittee. I look forward to answering any questions you may have.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Gore.
Wake up.